Welcome to another market update on a Monday afternoon here with your Katy Texas Realtor. My name is Jorge de Jesus with Century 21 with the Matt Freeman team. And in this video, I'm not going to bore you with numbers, details, or any of that sort. I want to give you a broad picture of exactly what's been going on because not much has changed. However, I want to give you my opinion and maybe some tips and tricks on how to maybe navigate whether you're selling or buying a home. Like I said, my name is Jorge de Jesus with Century 21 Western Realty and the Matt Freeman team. We service the entire Katy, Texas area. And what we're seeing is a little bit more of the same. Relatively the same amount of homes have come to market and they've been absorbed, meaning they're being sold at about the same amount of time. So you still have about half a month, maybe a little more of inventory. What does that mean? It means that if the wheels stop turning and the amount of buyers that are going to buy and the amount of sellers stopped, you would be done with all the homes that were available in about 30 days, right? So there's not enough for however many people want. Now that's supply and demand, and that's super simple and that's easy for every one of us to understand. I think there's a couple of things that we all have to keep an eye on. So number one, the prices are going up because demand is up. Okay, it's not because they were going to go up in 2022 and 2023. It's because there's not enough homes, therefore the ones that are available are commanding a higher price per square foot. There's no other magic behind that, okay? Number two, the prices continue to go up incrementally. They have, like I said in my last video, they've gotten a little better, not as far as like the total price, but per square foot, which is how we actually measure it. It's gotten a little better rather than, a lot higher 3 or 4 months ago compared to everything else that was out there. And that gets convoluted, but just trust me, things are coming around, okay? So what does that mean, let's say, for a buyer? Okay, so it means that right now you are going out there with the confidence that there's slightly less competition, but then you say, well, how can you say that I can go out there and buy a home confidently, but you're also saying there's half a month of inventory? Well, that's because you have options, and options are the name of the game when it comes to buying a home. If you're looking to buy a home, and this is the only reason I would tell any of my buyer clients to just maybe postpone the search. If you're looking for a very specific type of home, then I hate to tell you that it's tough to be picky in this market. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that. But if you're just looking to buy in a certain area, then you have options. So option number one is a new construction homes. You have new construction homes. Prices are pretty similar to per square foot again to what we're seeing in the resale market. Okay. Number two, you have these resale homes that are coming to the market and they're selling. They used to sell for 2 to 3 days. Now they're selling in 3 to 4 days, and those numbers are going to come back down to 2 to 3 days. Overall. But then number three, if you're working with a real estate professional, you also have access to what's called coming soon. So you can say, hey, I like this area, I'm looking for this in general strokes, and you can say, okay, is there anything that's coming to the market that maybe we can keep an eye on as soon as it comes out? I think speed is important. I think speed is underrated. I think, and this is talking to a lot of buyers who quit and then come back, and then we have a conversation about why they quit in the first place, is that they were getting beat out and too many contracts and and this and that. But the experience that I've had with most of my buyers, not all of them, most of my buyers, is that if I provide them the information early enough and I provide them access to the property early enough, then they can make an educated decision. But, and here's the fourth option, is looking at if a certain location is attracting you because, let's say, schools or amenities or you just want to be down the street for your grandma and grandpa, then okay, then that locks you into that area. However, if you're coming in, let's say whether you've lived here or you haven't lived here before, you're just looking for a specific place, you're looking for a specific type of home, not super specific down to the detail, but you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, whatever it is, good schools, good size, all that good stuff, then you have options, right? It doesn't have to be in just one particular neighborhood. And I think that's what we're missing. Well, one of the biggest things that we're missing here is that you're not seeing a lot of buyers opening up their options, and therefore they're quitting. Okay, so have that conversation with a real estate professional. If there's somebody that's been selling real estate in the Katy area for a while, then they'll be able to explain that to you. If not, then I'm happy to break it down for you. There you have tons of options. It's never been a better time to be a buyer. Now, that brings me to the next point. Now you're gonna say, okay, Jorge, mortgage rates, and I just made a video about this, and it's gonna be in my YouTube channel. Mortgage rates are on the rise. I was like, yeah, well, 3 months ago, they said that we were gonna see 5% by the end of the year, and we're already at 5%. So yeah, they're gonna continue to rise. So the question is, do you jump in now? Do you jump in later at 7%, or do you never jump in? Or were you saying that 3 months ago when it was 3.5% and you said, oh, it's too high? Well, now that it's 5, what are you gonna do? So let's be very realistic with ourselves. And I can't shake a magic 8-ball and say, well, no, 3 months from now, things are gonna crash, or things are gonna come down. None of us know that. Anybody who purports to say, I have the solution, I have the magic pill, I know when rates are gonna come down, they're selling you a bag of lies. And I would be very wary of listening to something like that. Nobody's been able to accurately predict something this specific. Now, have there been people before that have predicted general things that are going to happen in general ways? Yes, I can do that too. I'm going to tell you right now that sometime in the next 48 hours, I'm going to sleep. See, the thing about this is, and it's tough for us, people, and I say us, people my age, because we've only experienced shifts in markets a few times, right? And it was mostly, what we remember has been mostly negative. And we're taking this as a negative. And we want it to shift to be a negative to take advantage of it. And I think that what you're missing is that, and this is one of my coaches, this is a great point that they made. If you're going to buy a house and you're not going to sell for 10 years, what does it matter? Think about that. If you're gonna buy a house and in 10 years from now, whoops, I broke something. In 10 years from now, you're still gonna be in that house. What does it matter if it's gonna cycle back? Maybe the cycle takes 12 years. Okay, then you wait the 12 years. Maybe the cycle takes 8 years. Okay, then you capitalize then. But what does it matter? It doesn't. If you're gonna buy and then you're hoping to appreciate in 3 years and sell, then yeah, you might be in a tough spot, and maybe I would suggest that you wait or find an opportunity that makes sense, the numbers make sense, but that's a whole nother subject. So I wouldn't worry too much about mortgage rates. I would worry about not jumping in and continuing to blame it on X, Y, and Z. Stop blaming it on X, Y, and Z and jump in. And then as far as sellers go, look, for the first time in a while, we've actually had buyers that say, I'm done. I'm not going to buy. So even though they would love to be in the Katy area, they still have rental options. And they're okay with rental options. They're not looking at, oh, long-term investment, da-da-da. No, they don't care. They just want to be in the area. So they're okay with quitting. I had 2 that quit like recently. And this is happening nationwide. Why are they quitting the search? Because prices are on the rise, especially in areas like ours where people are continuing to flock in and they're wanting to move into the area. So what would you do if you were considering selling? You have to jump in also. you're going to see more and more people quit. They're not going to listen to my advice. They're going to quit. And you're not going to be able to capitalize on a great market to sell. Now, we're looking at the barrel of the end of spring, beginning of summer, and there should be a little more, a few more houses coming on the market, but there's going to be equally just as many buyers. I'm already getting the phone calls. As I'm recording this, my phone is blowing up. So the time to sell is now, the time to buy is now. We don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. There's absolutely no way. I was planning on doing this whole Katy thing and all that, but I'm seeing more and more panic. Not from clients, but more from people on the street. And I like to talk to people because I'm always wearing something that says that I'm a realtor or something like that. And people approach me. I try to calm them down because it's as simple as you either jump in or you don't. That's it. There's nothing else to it. So that's not much of a market update. I mean, it's more of a check your mental well-being when stressing these decisions. Take a step back and consult a professional and say, hey, this is the situation that I'm in. What do you think? And if you don't trust that opinion, get a second, get a third, fourth, fifth. There's 50,000 plus realtors in the Houston market that can service you. Get an opinion, whether you're a buyer or a seller. Have somebody who does this for a living explain to you what the ramifications are and ask all the questions. Just because, let's say you're a seller, just because you call me and I sit down with you and we go through it, it doesn't mean that we're going to get your home listed on the market that day. I would love to do that. That would be great. But if it's just about getting information, I'm open to that too. If you're a buyer, I'm open to that too. Because this is one of the biggest decisions that you can make financially, and it would reflect very poorly on me to just push you to make one decision or the other. It might not be the time for you. Anyways, as far as the Katy Texas market goes, yes, prices are continuing to rise. Demand continues to rise. The days on market are about the same. Things have not changed since we last spoke. However, we are getting, because we're circling the end of the school year and we're going to start the summer, we are getting more and more requests from both sides. I think if it's a good time to tap into equity, which we've talked about, if it's a good time to put down roots, then those are the only reasons you really need to jump in with both feet and say, hey, it's time to sell or it's time to buy. My name is Jorge de Jesus. I'm your Katy Texas Realtor. I'm not going to bore you with any details this week, although I might next week. But, if you have any questions, you have my information. I'm happy to answer.